The reason diet pills don't work is because overeating is a habit of action that is run by a habit of thought. So compulsive eating, binge eating, that's a habit of action, but what's running that is a thought process. No one ever says, I binge on lettuce, or once I start eating celery, I just can't stop. In my 30 years, people say to me, I can't stop eating cookies. Once I open a packet of potato chips, I can't stop. I can eat a whole tub of ice cream and then open a second one. So this is a habit of action, but it's run by a habit of thought. When you change the thought process, you're cured forever. So if you've ever been made to eat something like kidneys or liver or sprouts or semolina and found it disgusting, you can never eat it again because you changed your habit of thought. Some people say, one of my friends are saying that she started to keep chickens for eggs and now she can't eat chickens ever because she's kind of in love with these chickens. So she's changed her habit of thinking. When you change your habit of thinking, the action goes away forever. If anyone here has ever been over the toilet bringing up mushroom risotto or prawns, they'll go, I can't eat that again for the rest of my life. And even though they actually want to eat it later, they'll find they just can't. Because when you change your habit of thought, you change the habit of action forever. Diet pills don't touch your thinking. Diet pills suppress your appetite, so you can't eat chocolate. But the minute you stop taking the pills, you go back to eating the chocolate. We know that diet pills have a massive failure rate. They suppress your appetite, and guess what? Whatever you suppress will eventually motivate you. So the more you starve yourself or suppress your appetite with pills, the minute you stop, you eat more than ever. And we know they don't work, and we know the side effects are terrible and can even be life-threatening. And why would you even bother when just changing your thinking would change your life? No vegan wakes up and says, oh my God, today I must try really, really hard not to eat bacon, or it's so hard not to eat those beef burgers at work. Their thought says, I can't eat a living creature. That isn't right or wrong. It's proof that you're not what you eat, you're what you think. And if you want to change the way you eat, if you want to be your perfect way forever, guess what? Change your thinking. It only works. It works for the rest of your life. And one of the reasons I know it works is because it works for me. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't keep chocolate in my house. I couldn't even keep jam or confectionery or cookies. I couldn't even keep bread or cereal in my house because I'd eat all of it. And now I keep loads of that stuff in my house. I don't even look at it. I'm indifferent to it. And it's so liberating. But I didn't change what I did. I changed what I thought. And that changed my whole life. One of the reasons my method works so incredibly well is because we are all born normal about food. When you were in your mother's womb, when my little baby was in my womb, food is available 24 hours a day. And babies are born with an interesting belief, and this is it. Food's always there. I have it later. You can never make newborns overeat. When they've had enough, they stop. If I would give my stepchildren or godchildren, if they ask for an ice cream and I give it to them, they give it back after 4 bites. When I used to do my daughter's birthday parties, all the children go, I want a piece of cake, I want a piece of cake, I want a piece of cake. And they clamour for the cake, and you hand out the paper plate with the cake. They take 4 bites and go off to play because their mindset says, that's always there, I'll have it later. And that's a good thing. And you'll find that naturally skinny people will have half a packet of candy in their handbag, or they'll have dishes of potato chips on their counter and don't eat them, because their belief is it's always there. When you start to go, this is naughty food and this is bad food and I mustn't eat it, guess what happens? You increase the desire. So the more you try to resist something, the more you want it. And the more you get into this mindset, I mustn't have that and I can't have it, your body now starts to make you really, really want it. So we know that dieting doesn't work. In fact, science has proved that diets have a 2% success rate, which means, guess what? They have a 98% failure rate. We know the most time anyone can stay on a diet is 6 weeks, and that's optimistic. So what my program does is it reactivates what you were born with, an ability to leave food. I've never met a 2-year-old that goes, I ate 2 biscuits, yes, I've got to run around the nursery today and burn off that fat, or today I must try really hard not to eat candy. So it gives you back something amazing, an ability to be indifferent to food. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference and disinterest. And then you can be around cupcakes and cookies and just think, yeah, I'll have those when I'm 65 or 75 or 85. What my method does is it sets up a dialogue with your mind. So for instance, this bride wrote to me and said, I've been trying to lose weight, I've got this dress, it's too small, and I thought I'd go on a diet and get thinner, and I'm actually getting fatter every week, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't get it on it doesn't fit me, and I haven't got enough money to buy another one. And I said, well, what happened? She goes, well, every time I go to the store, I go to the biscuit aisle, I look at my favourite cookies and go, oh, I love you, you're my favourite, I'm just going to buy you and eat one. And then of course she eats the whole packet. And so I said, okay, so next time you go to the cookie aisle, you look at the cookie and you go, you are nice, I do like you, but I like fitting into my dress way more. And I've got one day to look amazing in this dress. I've got 50 years to eat these double chocolate Dutch cookies. Anyway, she said that was so effective. She didn't buy them, she fitted into the dress, she looked amazing. And she said it was really weird because after the wedding and the honeymoon, I went to the store to buy them. I went up to them and I just thought, no, I'm so over you, I don't even want you anymore. And she said it was amazing that the dialoguing took away the desire. So saying, I mustn't have you is like saying I mustn't scratch my nose. The more you say it, the more you think about it. But saying, I could have you. When I'm 95, I might have loads of you, but right now, I am choosing to look amazing in my clothes. So it sounds kind of weird that you change your thinking, but I still do that. When people come up to me and go, oh, here's some candy, I go, looks nice, but doesn't look as nice as when I get on the scales every day and I'm always my perfect weight. So my brain understands. I don't fight to resist food. I did. From 14 to 30, I was always starving, binging, starving, denying myself stuff, punishing myself, and then eating masses of it. And it's fair to say that I was consumed by food. I'd always wake up and think, oh, I wish I hadn't eaten that, or I shouldn't have eaten that, or today I'm not going to eat that. And it is a form of torture, and now I just wake up and I have what I want, but I've got my brain to want really nice, healthy food. I have no interest in a Krispy Kreme donut. I would have done once, but it's a great ability to make your mind indifferent to stuff and to understand that your body doesn't even want it. Your body never goes, yay, I want colorants, chemicals, preservatives, pesticides, junk. That's your mind. And it's a mindset you had when you were 5 or 6 or 7, which is why people go, oh, when I'm down, I want pizza, or I want cookies, or I want cereal. No one ever says, when I'm down, I want a bit of grilled trout with some wilted spinach on the top. That would never work because we have taste receptors. And when you're a little baby and your mum picks you up and feeds you milky, creamy, fatty, sweet milk, it meets every need you have. You feel loved, you feel significant, you feel connected. And whenever you're out of sorts, your mind goes, I know, eat something like children's food and it'll make you happy. But when you weigh 500 pounds, it doesn't make you happy. I mean, I have clients who eat like cheesecakes in tears because they're so obese. And eating it is making them cry, but they're still eating it. Because the body doesn't want it, but the mind is stuck in this loop. That makes me happy, I need to eat it, I've eaten it, now I'm unhappy, I'll eat some more of it, and now I'm even more unhappy. But what my method does is like, oh yeah, I could have that, but I'm choosing not to, and the weight's dropping off me, and hey, I'm really happy, and guess what? I can even have it in the house for my kids, and I'm just indifferent to it. And it's really nice to have the freedom to just eat normally, like nature wanted you to eat. You see, a lot of diets do this. We're all addicted to food, or we all eat emotionally. There are at least 6 types of overeaters. There's emotional overeaters, angry overeaters, destructive overeaters, habitual overeaters, and ignorant overeaters too, who aren't ignorant, but their beliefs about food certainly are. And you cannot do a one-size-fits-all. Like you'll see that a lot of men eat very differently. Most men don't go, oh, I need ice cream, I need cookies. They think I need a burger and fries and pizza and beer. For instance, I had a grandmother who loved me. But every time I saw her, she'd make cakes and candy and give me chocolate. And eventually I would walk in her house, and the minute I opened the door, she'd open the cake tin. It was like this synchronicity. And eventually I couldn't even get in her house without wanting cakes. And every time I saw her, I wanted cakes. And then whenever I was unhappy, I could eat so many cakes. Because she didn't mean to, but she trained me to see cakes were love. So if I wasn't getting love, I'd eat cakes, and then I got fat, and then I definitely wasn't getting any love. So that didn't work. My method is going to take you through a process where you discover very quickly how this happened. And I'm a great believer that understanding is power. The minute you understand how and where and why, then you are already empowered to fix it. And then it does fix it. It tells your brain different things. You'll always have another day to eat cookies. You're able to look at pizza and go, no thanks, not really into that. And it really works. And then you become your perfect weight forever. And it's a real win-win, because, I mean, my methods are kind of magical and new and very different and innovative, but really it's giving you back what you were born with. I spend a lot of time in Africa. You see lions, they kill a wildebeest, but when they've had enough, they walk away. They don't binge on it. They don't eat again for a day and a half, because their brain's like, I've had enough now. Whereas we like, okay, I've had some ice cream, but I need more. And we can't leave food, because food companies have done a lot of damage. They kind of have brainwashed people. You know, they say on Pringles, but you can't eat just one. Imagine if they said that on a bottle of whiskey. We'd be outraged. And they make you believe that you can't leave food, you can't have just one. We call candy bars heaven, divine, love, heroes, celebrations. You are being brainwashed to believe that that food makes you happy, happy, happy. And the more junky, chemically full of sugar it is, I mean, McDonald's call their food Happy Meals. Some confectionery companies call their candy bars fun size. That isn't a mistake. A lot of money goes into brainwashing you to want junk food when you're unhappy. And actually what I've done is exactly the same thing, but I'm brainwashing you not to want it. And it's really effective. But the nicest thing is that it is so permanent, and it isn't work. It just works. A lot of people say, I don't know what you've done. Like Anna on Super Size, Super Skinny, what have you done to my brain? I'm looking at all this bread, it looks nice, but I can't eat it. So I was on a plane recently and the stewardess was giving me chocolate. I said, I don't eat chocolate. She went, oh, I wish I could do that. And I said, well, I didn't always do that, but now I don't eat. I mean, I do eat it sometimes, which is so lovely, because I can eat a bit and leave it for months. I could never do that once. But it's such a great freedom to go, I don't eat that, or I'll have that another time or later. So it will do for you everything you want and so much more. And of course it's a real win-win, because then you love your body, and when you love your body, you don't really want to eat a whole packet of taco chips. You want to eat better food. And people go, oh, isn't it really expensive to eat healthy food? No, it really isn't. It's actually cheaper than eating all that junk. And you feel better, and you look younger too. Your skin looks great, you have energy, you get to go and hang out at the pool with your kids without thinking, oh God, I feel really fat. And it's just nice. You get to really like your body and want to look after it, instead of punishing it with stuff that it doesn't want, never asks you for and hates, but that your mind is in a loop with thinking, it makes me happy, even though you know it makes you really unhappy. So I've had clients fly me all over the world to get them in shape for their wedding, for a film they're in, for a rock concert they're performing in, and I've always helped people to lose weight and become slimmer. I've been known for getting phenomenal results with my clients in one session. I'm known for that. Therapists send me the clients they can't get. Doctors and psychiatrists send me the clients they can't cure. And I'm known for taking the most difficult person and turning them around in an hour. You think has a physical reaction. When men see a very sexual image, they have a very physical reaction to a thought. When we see pictures of food on screen, we start to create digestive enzymes. So we know that every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response. And we know now, for instance, in England, when doctors are performing surgery, they're not allowed to say anything like, oh, this is a nightmare, or this is a disaster. They can't say it, because they know that even under anesthesia, the mind picks up stuff. You know, we know that children pick up stuff, and the mind is rather like a child. It just believes everything it hears. So it's very important to make sure your mind hears extraordinary things and believes them, and then you can have an extraordinary life, because you have a choice. When you have a brilliant brain, here's your choice. Rationalize why you feel so bad, or talk yourself out of it. I'm going to show you how to talk yourself out of it so effectively that it isn't even what you do, it's who you are. It will change your life. My own life is interesting in that I'm so dramatically different then to how I am now. I was the most insecure kid. I could never make eye contact with anyone. My brother and sister both went to fee-paying school and I didn't because I wasn't bright enough to go. I didn't pass the entrance exam. They did. My parents thought it would be a waste of money to spend fees on me, and both my parents tried to persuade me that I should be a nanny because they just didn't think I was bright enough to do anything else. And I thought I was hideous, I thought I was stupid. I was quite a bookish kid. I mean, I had friends, but I really wasn't outgoing at all. And I spent a lot of time on my own. I guess in a way you'd say I was a nerdy kid with no self-belief. I don't really know exactly how that changed, but I do know that later on I was told that I could never ever have children, and that was a blow to me. But even then I remember thinking I shouldn't let this in. So something in my mind was already turning to say, you know, it's all mindset, it's up to you. In fact, at one stage I remember thinking, I'm glad my parents think I'm nothing because I'm going to prove to them I'm something. And then I remember thinking, wow, if they always believed in me, I wouldn't have that burning drive to show them. And I see that with many people who make it. It's that I'll show you, I'll prove it to you. And so when this doctor was saying, look, you can never have children, I had that same voice in my head going, I'll show you, I'll prove to you. And at one time I said to him, you need to stop now because I'm not going to let this in. And that's when I decided to do the work on myself. And it must have happened really quickly because I was just beginning to wire myself to not believe that. When I found out I was pregnant, something flipped in me. The thing that flipped in me was that I realized it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It only matters what I say. So when this doctor said you can never have children, a voice in me said, don't listen to him, listen to yourself. And I actually said to him, you need to stop now because I'm not going to let this in. And I've learned since that one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself throughout your life is to not let in words that will hurt you, to say that's your opinion in a sea of opinions, but I'm choosing to not let it in. So I left his office thinking I must not let that in. I must actually erase that and let in something else. So I decided to tell myself that I'd get pregnant really easily, I'd have a baby. In fact, actually I had a belief that I'd have a baby and it would take some time, and within a few months I was actually pregnant, so it happened much quicker than I planned. And that's when I began to understand that when you rewire your mind, it can happen like that. Your beliefs override everything. It doesn't matter what other people believe, it's what you believe. It's like saying to someone who believes that a dog is going to attack them, but it's a tiny little Yorkshire Terrier, look, it's on a lead, it can't hurt you. But if your belief says it's going to get me, it's going to bite me, it's going to attack me, it doesn't matter what other people tell you. Your beliefs override everyone else's beliefs. So if you have a fear of heights or a fear of flying, people go, look, read these statistics. Can't you see that flying on a plane is the most safest way? No, my head tells it's going to crash and I'm going to die and I'm hurtling through the air in a steel tube. And so when we start to look at it, we begin to see, oh, it's the beliefs you tell yourself that empower you or disempower you. And that's actually very good news because you have a choice. And so I started to learn how important it was to tell myself better beliefs. When I started to look into being a nanny and I was looking at working with children, I also realized that all their problems come from their parents. So I was looking at troubled children and I went from deciding to be a nanny to deciding to work with troubled children. But actually that's quite a tough job because you have 3 patients, mother, father, child. So how I went from a nanny to a hypnotherapist is that I realized that working with children was hard work because you have to go through their parents. And eventually, I was very young, I ended up going to Los Angeles and working for Jane Fonda in her workout studio. And that was my turning point because every 3rd woman there was bulimic or anorexic or body dysmorphic or had exercise compulsion, and a lot of men too, and they were doing what everyone does, trying to change the external. I'm going to go on that treadmill for 2 hours to burn off the can of Coke I drank. I'm going to do 6 hours of aerobic classes because I need to be thin. And I thought then they're doing it all wrong. None of them understood that this is an internal problem. And that's when I really got tuned in to helping people on the inside. I realized I was teaching classes to people and every third one had some kind of damage. They had such bad body image. I'd have the head of Fox or the head of CEN stressing because they ate a cookie and their whole worth was what they looked like, what they weighed, and whether they had a bit more body tissue than they wanted. And that was when I got fired up to study hypnosis, because I found that hypnosis was more effective than anything else at changing the internal dialogue rather than working on the external. Regular hypnotherapists do this thing about come along and first we'll talk about your problems, and the next session we'll talk some more, and in the third session we may do a little relaxation, and the fourth session we'll start to look at your problems. And I'm thinking, if you went to the dentist with toothache, you wouldn't go, well, let's talk about your problem this week and next week, and maybe in the fourth week I might start to extract that tooth that's hurting you. So all my clients came in pain, emotional pain, physical pain, and they want to be fixed like that. And I realized that I could do it all in one session. In fact, I started to call my work Skipnosis because I skipped through all of that, floating on a cloud, walking down a valley, smelling the daffodils. Nobody cares about that. They care about rapid results that are permanent. And so with working with my clients and seeing what they really wanted, they wanted fast results that lasted. And so I took everything I could do and realized I could do it all in one session, and it lasted. And I now teach my method to doctors, and in fact I had 8 doctors watching me going, this is amazing, because we hear about this but we never get to see it. And then when I was at the Royal College of Medicine, one of the doctors said, all these illnesses are autoimmune illnesses, and I show them how to get the client to talk to their immune system. Sounds kind of crazy, but we talk to ourselves all the time, and your cells do listen. And when you learn to dialogue with your mind and dialogue with your body the way I've designed it for you, you get outstanding results. Your subconscious mind is very different to your conscious mind. First of all, it's much more powerful. It has all the control, and it doesn't deal with logic. It's the feeling mind. It responds to powerful words. It only lives in the present tense. And when you're dealing with your subconscious mind, you've got to understand what it's all about. It's a bit like someone giving you a Ferrari when you've never driven a car and go, here you are, make the most of that Ferrari. The Ferrari will run you if you don't know how to handle it. And your mind is a bit like a Ferrari. It's amazing, it's powerful, but you need to know how to handle it, because if you don't, it will run you. When you understand that your mind's job is to work for you, then you better understand your job. Your job is to dialogue with your mind in a way that guarantees good results. But if you don't know how to do that, you get bad results. Your body is run by a network of intelligence which is influenced by your mind. That's a fact. But when you can influence that mind, which in turn influences your body, you can have almost anything you want, but you've got to know how to do it in a specific, fast, highly effective way. And that's what RTT is. We keep hearing about neuroplasticity, but neuroplasticity again means getting the mind to dialogue with the body, interrupt negative thoughts and replace them, and have peak health, be in a peak state. And anyone can do that when they know how. And there's quite a few rules of the mind. When you understand the rules of your mind, because they're the rules of everyone's mind, all the people around you, it just makes it easier to change yourself and to understand them. And here's a rule of the mind, so powerful. Your mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs, and it cannot hold conflicting thoughts. And when you have teenage daughters who have body issues, it helps to understand that anorexic and bulimic teenagers have conflicting beliefs. They love food, they hate food. Your teenage kids wants to do well in their studies, but they love watching Netflix and spending all their screen time with their friends. And so it's very hard for teenage minds when they have one belief, I really want to do well in school, but I love sport. I want to do well in school, but I love Netflix. I want cake, but I want to be a size 0, so I mustn't eat anything. It makes the mind very, very confused. Your mind is a bit like a laser trying to go towards what you want. But when you say things like, oh, I'd love to be successful at work, but I couldn't give up my weekends, or, you know, I want to have my own business, but I'm really scared of crowdfunding in case no one invests in me. You're telling your mind, I want it, I don't want it, I want it, but no, I don't want it at all. And now your mind's in a spin. It's no longer a laser, it's become more like a tumble dryer going round and round, backwards, forwards. And when you understand what you're doing, you start to get clarity. When you tell your mind what you want, using really specific words, it works. So when I worked with people on weight loss, and I take them to train with Marines, and when Marines are running through mud, they sing, and the mind goes, oh, I get it. You're singing because you want it. But people who are heavy go, oh, I hate exercise, it's painful, it's boring, I could be at home watching TV, and then your mind says, that's where you need to go. So if you're working with children, have children in your life, it helps them so much to understand that the mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs or thoughts, and how you make it work for you is to choose beliefs and thoughts that work, and just wipe out, erase, stop referring to, stop thinking the negative thoughts that conflict with the good ones. I want to have a great relationship. I couldn't bear the pain if I was dumped. There's a conflicting thought. And as long as you think that thought, you won't have a happy relationship. When you start to say, I'm having a great relationship, I'm so lovable, I'm going to meet the right person, it will last forever, we'll complete each other. Your mind goes, let me take you there. Not only have you got to speak about what you want, you've got to not speak about what you don't want. So many people do that. You know, I want a job, I don't want to put in those crazy hours. You have to say to yourself, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it. Even if it's not true, you go, how lucky am I to spend all weekend working on my website. Anorexic and bulimic people have to say, I like eating really nourishing food. You can't go, I love cake, but it makes me fat, so I got to eat lettuce, but that's so boring. And I hate it, because your mind has no idea what you want. You know, when I was given my first book deal, I was given a lot of money to write a book, and my first thought was, God, it's so lonely writing a book. I've got to shut myself away all by myself, I'm really young, and write this book while all my friends were out. And what do you think my mind heard? You don't want to write that book. No, you want to go out. And you know what I started to do? Tidy all the forks, all the silverware, sort out a sock drawer, empty my clutter, because I told my mind I didn't want to write a book. I didn't mean to tell it that, but that's what I did. Only when I started to go, I love writing, there's nowhere else I'd rather be in the entire world than sitting here today writing that book. And when I said that, I sat there all night writing and thought, wow, I love writing. Because the ironic thing is that when you tell your mind you want it, you actually want it. It's like saying, I've got to run. I hate running. My feet hurt, my legs hurt, my butt hurts. Everyone laughs at me. You don't have any success. When you start to run and go, wow, I love running. The wind in my hair, this is amazing. What happens is you actually start to love running. So just remember, if you haven't got what you want, you must have conflicting beliefs. Look at your beliefs, straighten them out, keep the ones you want, focus on those, and stop referring to the stuff you don't want until it ceases to exist. Mind actually loves what is familiar and really wants to stay there. And it's a thing that therapists and teachers find the most vexing. Anyone who's had a small child will notice they want the same bedtime story, the same breakfast cereal. They don't want new stuff, they want familiar, because hundreds of years ago, familiar is what made us safe. We lived in walled cities, we lived in tribes. We didn't venture off to meet new people because that was dangerous. In evolutionary terms, it was actually not a good idea to seek the unfamiliar, but now we're safe. Unfamiliar is good, but we still have minds that are wired to avoid the unfamiliar and stay with the familiar. However, all you have to do is make what is unfamiliar super familiar, and anything that's familiar and negative, make it unfamiliar. Here's a silly example. If you have 6 sugars in your coffee and cream and you take it out, it tastes absolutely horrible. But if you persevere and go, well, we'll make this familiar, I'll make this better taste familiar, in a matter of weeks, you start to like it, and then you try the coffee the way you always had it, 6 sugars and cream, and go, oh my God, that's disgusting. How did I do that? Because although our mind likes what is familiar, not unfamiliar, you can choose to make anything familiar, particularly praise. That's a biggie. You see, if you've never had any familiarity with praise, someone says, oh, I hear you're the best salesperson in your firm. You go, well, not really. There's somebody much better than me. And in the next office, they're way better than me. You see what people do who have not had any familiarity with praise. Not only do they reject it, they add in what's familiar, criticism. And some really great advice for you today is make praise familiar by praising yourself, and make self-criticism so unfamiliar by banishing it, ending it, stopping it. The more you do it, the easier it is, and then it stops being what you do and it becomes who you are, and it's incredibly powerful. People don't understand that you can make it familiar much faster by going, I like it, I like it. Your mind doesn't know you're lying to it, and it actually doesn't care either. So if you want to make some new habits familiar, like if you're bench pressing, there's nobody going, oh my God, this hurts. I don't know how I'm ever going to get to grips with this. Actually, I hate it. And it's given me wrinkles with all that grimacing I'm doing while I try to bench press. But if you go, I love it, love it, love it, like it, like it, like it, you make it familiar really easily. So you can make anything familiar by going, I'm doing this, and I'm telling my mind I want it, want it, want it. And then it becomes easy, and you wire it in so much more rapidly. You've all seen the stage hypnotist, someone eats an onion while telling themselves it's an apple, and their eyes don't water, and they go, oh, this is the best apple I've ever tasted, even though it's an onion. You can talk yourself into anything or out of anything. It's really your choice. We make our beliefs very early on. We start to form beliefs, and once we form beliefs, those beliefs begin to form us. And when you understand, first you make your beliefs, and then your beliefs make you, you might as well make your beliefs amazing, because your mind truly does not care for what you're told is right or wrong, good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. Here's an example. Every time I'm stressed, I get the flu. Every time I'm anxious, I get migraines. That's a belief that will make you, if you keep it going. Or you could say, I do get stressed, but the human body is designed for stress, and rather like a battery, as long as I get some sleep, I'm fine, and I can take on a lot. I catch up with rest later. So you always have a choice. I ate that cake, now I'm going to gain a pound. Or here's a better belief, I ate cake. I don't eat cake a lot, but my metabolic rate will adjust and burn that off. It doesn't matter what you say, it becomes true. In fact, scientists have discovered that people who say, if I look at a cake, I can get fat, actually can, because the stress of believing that causes your body to make cortisol, and cortisol helps your body lay down fat. So you can think yourself thin, you can think yourself fat. I know that sounds extraordinary. I remember years ago going out to dinner with some friends, and 3 of them got food poisoning, and the 4th one, who's very posh, said, my body would not dare to reject any food I choose to put. I thought, what a great belief he's got. My body would never reject food. And you see, mothers pass on these beliefs to their children. Oh, he's got a nervous stomach. Oh no, she's not good with that. She's scared of us. Our family, we're not very confident people. And children pick up these beliefs and then they turn into their beliefs. And instead of saying to a child, oh, don't worry, darling, I couldn't do math. I was terrible at spelling, just like you. I could never speak to friends because I was really shy, which becomes a fixed belief. It's a habit of thought that becomes real. Better to say, darling, you've got such a great personality, you're warm, you're funny, people like you, look how much I like you. Everyone will like you like I like you. Many people, without knowing it, wire their children for failure and all kinds of problems. Many teachers who say, well, the brains must have run out when they got to you, or oh, your sister's so much smarter than you, what happened to you? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's very important to understand dialoguing with yourself in a super effective way to get super effective results. It's not hard when you know how. We learn what we live, and small children look at the world going on in their home and it becomes a blueprint, and the subconscious mind does everything to make that blueprint become a reality. In fact, there's been some amazing studies showing that if a mother gets her period and goes, oh, the cramp, oh, I feel awful, oh, I've got PMT, even if her daughter is adopted, she will have almost identical symptoms. If a mother says, I'm going to play tennis now, periods, that's nothing, it's just part of life. The daughter will almost have identical symptoms. We are programming our children every day. They're like little mini computers. They absorb everything. One of my clients said that she saw her father take pills every morning before he went to work. You go, the stress is giving me an ulcer, and she formed a belief, work makes you sick. Now, if you form that belief, work makes you sick, work stresses make you ill, people always leave you. For a child watches mother having several boyfriends over the years and they all hurt her and abandoned her, that becomes a blueprint. Men leave. Or another one I've seen is my parents stuck it out to the end. They couldn't stand each other. They always fought. And I married someone and I'm sticking it out. Why? Because there's a blueprint. You just take it. There's no way to fight back. I want you to just understand you have formed a blueprint and your mind is doing everything it can to reach that blueprint. And that can be wonderful if it's a good blueprint and terrible if it's a negative one. So decide to change the blueprint. You can make your own blueprint. It doesn't have to be fixed. If you saw your mother stressing over the bills, if your mother got antacids out at every meal because food gives you indigestion, decide not to have that belief. You do make your beliefs. They're your beliefs. You can choose to believe whatever you want. I had a wonderful mother who was an out-and-out hypochondriac, and I knew early on I'm never going there. I decided to shun medicine because I knew that she was operating on a blueprint. She was an evacuator child in the war who got attention for being sick. They were farmed out to people they didn't even know. All the children from cities were billeted with people in the country they didn't know. Some were lovely, some weren't. She missed her mother. And every time she got sick, her mother would come to see her. She learned that being sick met all her needs. It's a very powerful blueprint. Once you buy into it, you'll stay with it unless you do something like RTT. But I went the opposite way. My blueprint is health, wellness. I don't like that blueprint of illness. Some people like it, I don't. Here's a blueprint that we often have when you're a baby and someone picks you up and puts that milky, creamy stuff in your mouth. It meets all your needs. And many people, when they're stressed, go, I need butter and toast, cookies and cream, ice cream, because the blueprint is something sugary and creamy and sweet, makes you happy. No one says, I'm so stressed, I need celery, I need fresh peas, because there is no blueprint. The blueprint is if we come home from school and our mother gives us a cookie, you'll find so many people go, I have a really good breakfast, I have sushi for lunch at 4 o'clock. I just need to get all that candy out of the vending machine. What happened at 4? I used to go home from school and I always got cookies and milk. And there's a blueprint. Many people say, I come in from work and at 6 o'clock I must have a glass of wine. I put the key in the door and then I need a glass of wine. But on a Saturday, I don't do that because I don't come home from work. And here's in America, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a blueprint. Just eat loads of sugar, eat whatever you like. It's an eating bonanza. There's no point in being healthy. You're going to get fat anyway. That's a crazy blueprint and you don't have to have it. Every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response in your body. That's actually very good news indeed, because it means if you think good thoughts, you get good emotional responses. And if you think bad thoughts, you get bad emotional responses. Your thoughts are real. Your words form your reality. When you say, I can't cope with my job, this 405 freeway is killing me, I'm dying under the paperwork, it's hell in the store, my kids are a nightmare. These are very powerful words, and I know you don't mean it, but your mind believes you must mean it. Your job is killing you. The best thing it can do is give you an ulcer so you don't have to go back to that job that you keep telling it is killing you. My kids are driving me insane. They're not, they're just challenging you. But if you keep saying that, you start to react that way. Change the word. So let's imagine you say, my kids are a nightmare, my husband is unreasonable, even the cat is hell, it's always shedding hair everywhere, and my house is a constant mess. Let's imagine you change that word. My kids are age appropriate, my husband is a challenge, but we love each other. The cat, well, it's the cat, and I'm lucky to own this home. Everything will change. Your home is the same, your cat, your kids, your husband are the same. But if you just change some words, I had a client whose favorite word was hell. It's hell, the job's hell, the commute's hell, people look at me, that's hell. It was all a nightmare. And when I got her to say, I have phenomenal coping skills, her whole world changed because she just changed her language. And I said, when you keep saying, this is torture, this is hell, your body's reacting as if you really are experiencing torture and hell. I've never known torture to be in a store, unless it's in Zimbabwe where there's no food. You can't go to Hughes Market and go, this is hell, when you have a credit card and money to buy food, because that is someone else's fantasy dream come true. And if you're saying that going to the store is hell, then everything in your life is hell. So people go, oh, there's no hot water, what a nightmare. Oh, I forgot to tape my favorite show, what a disaster. I was on a plane a couple of years ago. This woman came back to her seat and went, oh my God, disaster. The stewardess ran up, what is it? She said, my movie didn't pause when I went to the bathroom. It's like, and when was that? Disaster on an aeroplane? That's just mildly inconvenient. But we use these powerful words and we get powerful negative responses. And when you learn to stop that and go, that's a challenge, that's an issue, they're not powerful. You don't get these powerful negative responses. So every thought you think has a physical reaction. Think great thoughts, think powerful thoughts, and you will get a powerful reaction. You know, if you're about to go and speak someone, you go, oh my God, I'm dreading it, it's terrifying, it's hell, you will have a hellish, terrifying time on stage because you made that happen. And if you go, well, I love speaking to people, I've got something to say, and I'm really engaging, you'll have a really engaging time. You get to choose, and here's the best choice of all. You can choose to use great language, you can choose to use terrible language. That's your choice. You know what you can't choose? What happens to your body when you use terrible language? The ulcers, the stress, the anxiety, you can't choose that. So you can choose to say whatever you want. but you can't choose what happens to you when you go the negative way and say everything's hell, it's a disaster, it's a nightmare, this is killing me, I just want to die because my kid spilled some crumbs on the floor. That's crazy. We know it's crazy, and yet we still do it, but I'm going to teach you how to never even think of doing that again, and then you'll have an amazing life. I had this girl who wrote to me and said, I really want to train with you. I teach people my method. I train doctors and therapists and regular people how to do what I do. And she said, I want to train with you so badly, but I'm a poor, starving artist. I don't have enough money. And I think she was angling for a free place. And I sent her a recording about how to attract wealth. And she said, you know, the amazing thing is, I suddenly started to sell lots of paintings. Someone rang me up and commissioned a mural. And when I listened to your recording, I tripled my prices. And when I charged more, people valued my work more. And I'm selling so much stuff, and I've now got the money. I did a recording on how to attract love, and this girl wrote to me and said, this is the weirdest thing. I live in an apartment block and I listened to your recording, and one day I got in the lift and this guy started to talk to me and went, wow, you have this kind of magnetic air. There's just something, I've really got to know you. And they started dating, and she said, what, so weird, I've been in that lift for a year and so has he, and he'd never noticed me. But when I played that recording, it said I had this magnetic animal magnetism, and I was super attractive. And it obviously works because I met a guy who lived in my building. We must have seen each other before. But what happened with her is she switched on her belief that she was attractive. And you see our thoughts radiate out from us and back to us like a magnet, people that pick up and return our thinking. When you think you're third rate, you're anonymous, you're not worth being with, other people pick that up. When you think you're extraordinary and radiant and gorgeous, they pick that up too. Another example of, you can think whatever you want, but you might as well think great thoughts because they give you great things. If you could be made to do what you didn't want to do, every hypnotist on the planet would be a multi-millionaire, because they could all make you pay them way more money, and they don't do that. It is very important to make sure dogs and cats are out of the room, phones are switched off, quickly go to the bathroom, just make sure that you're not going to be disturbed, and sit in a place where you feel comfortable. I like it if you can sit back and have your neck supported, uncross your hands and feet, and just get ready to enjoy about 20 minutes of something very powerful. Now, I know all of you out there may think, well, I want something different to someone else. That's okay. We have, as children, unmet needs, and we go through life believing that these needs are never going to be met. Today, you're going to learn that you can meet all of them and become very successful. So, because this is about abundance, I'm going to be counting you back to a time in your life where you began to form beliefs that you couldn't have what you wanted. That could be health or wealth. It could be a relationship. I'm going to talk about abundance, but you will know exactly which area I'm talking about. And also, you're not consciously doing this. Your subconscious mind, as I speak, will start to identify and locate the scenes in your life that programmed you badly. And you're going to go back and have a look at that, and then we're going to unpick it. And it's a bit like being a detective and a dentist. We find the scenes that caused you negative beliefs, and then we take all that toxicity and put you back together again, only way better. So don't think about it. It's what I call lose your mind and come to your senses. Just allow yourself to feel. And just one more thing. Some people think, oh, I'm going to go back and I'm going to relive all this trauma. Imagine If somebody slapped your leg when you were 7 and you go back to that, you don't feel like your leg is being slapped. It doesn't sting. You don't get tears in your eyes because you cannot relive anything. You can only review it, make sense of it, get your aha moment, and then become free. And when I hypnotize people, I like to do it this way. I like people to look up, keep their eyeballs up, and close the lids down. So I'm just going to practice this with you first. Let's have a quick practice run so you know you can do it. All I want you to do is to roll up your eyes as if you're trying to look into your own eyebrows, and the skill is to keep your eyeballs up but simultaneously close your eyelids down. Do that again. Look up, keep your eyeballs up, but close the lids down. If you can do that, you will go into the most fabulous state of RTT hypnosis. So just make sure you're lying or sitting where you can't be disturbed with your feet and hands not quite touching. And I want you to roll your eyeballs up so that you feel as if you're looking or trying to look into your very own eyebrows. And fixing your eyes at a real or imagined spot overhead, just breathe in and breathe out. And again, breathe in, breathe out. And just one final time, breathe in, keep your eyeballs up, but at the same time, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. And as your eyelids shut down, you can forget all about the position of your eyeballs now. And you can just allow a drifting, floating feeling to develop in your body. And I want you to tilt your chin just a fraction so you get that same looking down feeling that you might get as you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. You're looking down 10 steps. And as I count backwards, you're going to see your feet, hear your feet, even feel your feet treading each step. You're moving on to step 10 right now as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9, and you can hear your feet making contact with each step. You're taking step 8. You can see your feet touching each step as you go deeper. You're taking step 7. You can feel your feet treading each step as you go deeper still. You're taking step 6 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 5, you're halfway down. As each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 4 as you gently, calmly, easily move on over to an even deeper level. You're taking step 3 as every sound and noise around you carries you deeper and further into hypnotic sleep, a sleep that is quite different to the kind of sleep you take at night. You're taking step 2, just drifting way down deep. You're taking step 1, just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And as you go deeper right now, your subconscious mind is ready to pick up, to accept, to absorb every word I'm saying. As you relax and absorb these words, you are so aware that you have a strong desire and a compelling ability to become slimmer and leaner. And this desire and ability is becoming such a powerful part of you that it overrules any old desire to eat destructively, and instead, you are constantly motivated to act in ways that cause you to become and remain at your ideal weight, to become trimmer, healthier, younger, fitter, more attractive. You only want to eat healthy, fresh food. You exercise, and you look and feel younger. And you know that you were born with a perfect body and with a perfect attitude to food. As a baby, you were so in tune with your body that you knew when to eat and, of course, when to stop eating. And you are able to reactivate and reclaim that ability through the power and direction of your inner mind. As a baby, you knew that you would always have another day to eat, that food would always be available to you. And you know that now. And you easily leave food. You say no to the wrong food with ease. You're becoming more and more in tune with your body, working together as a perfect team. You respond to your body by eating healthy, nutritious food that allows your cells to work perfectly, to repair damage, to slow down aging. And your body responds by becoming lighter, leaner, healthier, younger. You are so aware that you have a right to be slim and fit and active. You have a drive and a commitment to be slim, and every day you feel motivated and conditioned to eat differently, to feel different about food. You see food as fuel for your body and for your cells, and you only want to eat the food that your body can use. You're freeing yourself forever from destructive, self-defeating eating habits. There is simply no room in your mind, in your body, in your life for destructive eating. From now on, overeating is something you used to do, and it just cannot, will not, and does not influence you any longer, because every day you move on from one great achievement to another. You eat differently. You become leaner. You have so much more energy. You exercise willingly. And you love the feeling of fitting into smaller clothes and feeling such a sense of accomplishment and achievement. You have decided to change your weight, your shape, and your size. And you so easily take all of the action that makes this happen. You're erasing, eliminating, and eradicating negative, poor eating habits forever. You just find yourself refusing to eat junk, refusing to overeat, refusing to eat the food that would only harm your body. You love your body, and because you love your body, you want to take care of it, and you treat it with respect. You choose healthy food, and you automatically eat less. So just see yourself in your mind at your ideal weight. Feel how slim you are. Hear other people praising you on your achievement. Notice how much happier your body is now that you respect it, you like it, and you want to do things that keep it in a healthy, attractive state. So make an image of how you want to look and tell your mind that this is what you want. This is what you really, really want, to look the way you look in that image. And as you focus on this image every day, you're already moving towards it because your mind is picking up that your strongest desire, your most compelling, motivating desire is to reach and maintain your ideal size and shape and weight. You are now and forever a selective, moderate eater. Those old negative habits are fading, shrinking, they are long gone, leaving you free to eat in a healthy, natural way, leaving you slimmer, more vital, more attractive, so much more youthful. Your mind, the most powerful healing force there is freeing you from old negative habits. You are moving so far away from emotional eating, from overeating, that you can feel it and sense it leaving you, shrinking, disappearing, gone. As you eat differently, your body is becoming a super efficient fat-burning machine. It uses all the healthy calories that you take in to build a perfect body for you. You nourish your cells with natural food, with lean protein, with vegetables. Your metabolic rate is increasing through the power and direction of your subconscious mind. So just feel, believe, and imagine your metabolic rate working perfectly as it did in your childhood. Your stomach is shrinking. Your stomach is actually the size of your own fist, so begin to squeeze your fist right now. And while squeezing your fist, just repeat to yourself over and over again in your head, my stomach is the size of my fist. My stomach is the size of my fist. And as you say that, you can notice your stomach is shrinking. It's becoming smaller right now. And as you concentrate on this feeling, it's increasing through the power and direction of your mind. Your stomach is becoming small, tiny, You find yourself eating enough food to satisfy the capacity of your fist, and then you stop easily, you stop willingly, because you want to. You have a small, tiny, shrunken stomach you eat slowly, and you feel full quickly. From now on, you only eat in response to real hunger. You are now and forever a sensible, selective eater. You drink a lot of water every day to assist your body in eliminating excess weight. You crave water. You drink 8 glasses a day. Your skin is glowing, you look and you feel fabulous. You leave some food at every meal because you feel full quickly. You eat slowly, and you just love that feeling of choice. You leave a little something, it makes you feel so powerful and so healthy. Food can never control you. You are taking charge of how you eat, how you look, how you feel. And leaving a little something proves that to you. You have such a positive attitude to your body. You have an overwhelming ability to become and to stay slim. You know that if your body needed excess food, it wouldn't turn it into excess body weight. Excess food is wasted wherever it goes. You refuse to treat your body as a rubbish bin. You leave excess food, you throw it away. It thrills you, it delights you, it empowers you. It elates you to throw away excess food because you know that overeating is punishing to your body. Your body and your cells hate being overworked with too much food. You know that sugar is your enemy. It ages your skin. It makes your body store fat, and you become so indifferent to sugar. It thrills you, it delights you, it empowers you, it elates you to say no to sugar. And you do this all the time. You do this easily, automatically. You continuously say no to sugar. And of course, you say yes to looking and feeling young. You say no to sugar and yes to looking amazing. You choose to do this, but you also choose to feel great about it too. When you're offered sugar and you refuse it, you feel good about that because you love your body and your body loves you right back. And it's becoming more and more the way you want it to be. And as you do this wonderful thing for your body, saying no to sugar and yes to eating selectively, your body in turn does so many wonderful things for you. You look and feel amazing. Every day, you are nourished, filled, and satisfied by the good feelings you have about yourself. And every day, your appetite is changing in the most perfect way. You need less nourishment from food because you are emotionally nourished. You eat less, but you enjoy the food so much more. You eat slowly. You eat less, and you always choose lean, nutritious, and healthy food that your body easily digests and uses. And as you eat in this healthy, wonderful way, your body uses every perfect calorie to rebuild and to rejuvenate you. And you become leaner, slimmer, radiantly healthy. You look younger, fitter. Your clothes look so much better on you. And because you feel so good about yourself, you exercise. You treat your body with absolute love and respect. You easily reach a body weight that is right and appropriate for you. Eating healthy food and exercising is becoming such a fundamental, integral part of you. It's a part of who you are. It's another way of you being good to yourself, reclaiming a positive self-image, loving yourself. It is so natural for you to eat healthy food because you're using your power of choice to choose how you're going to feel and how you're going to look. You've chosen to eat differently. You have chosen to become slimmer easily, permanently, to take all the action that makes this happen. So I want you to see this right now. See and feel your stomach is smaller and flatter. Your legs are leaner, your waist is smaller. because you have made up your mind and set your mind to reach and maintain your ideal weight. And I want you to see yourself going into a shop, buying clothes in your ideal size, wearing them, looking amazing, and you know there is no food in the world, there is nothing you could eat ever that will give you that wonderful feeling of taking anything off the rails in your size, and it fits you like a glove. And each of these words are making a deep, vivid, permanent, powerful impression on your subconscious mind. Every single day you are becoming aware of the full, powerful effect these words are having on you. The healing power of your own mind is strengthening, perfecting your ability to change your weight and your eating habits forever. And as you absorb these words, you are reinforcing your mind, replacing every single negative belief with a new constructive one. You are reactivating, re-manifesting, and regenerating that perfect attitude to food that you were born with. It is coming back to you, staying with you forever. And my voice is going with you, staying embedded in you, having a permanent, powerful, and all-pervasive healing effect on you right now. So whenever you listen to this recording in bed at night before sleep, you can now simply drift into a deep, healing sleep that will carry you right through until the morning. And you'll take in everything I've said and you'll return to your full awareness in the morning quite normally. But if you're playing this recording during the day, then on the count of 1, you can slowly, calmly, easily return to your full awareness. On the count of 2, feeling at ease. On the count of 3, feeling wonderful, feeling revitalized, feeling restored. On the count of 4, feeling fully aware. On the count of 5, just open up your eyes, just take a deep breath. And well done for listening to this recording and for taking action every day that will keep you young and healthy for years and years to come. So what the program's like is you come on every day, there's 5 weeks, and for the first 5 days, I give you a lesson. I don't like the word lesson. This is not like being in school. This is powerful, profound, cutting edge revelations, if you like, learning about yourself, learning how you got shaped and learning how to reshape yourself. And after you've had that 15 to 20 minute video, you have an exercise to do, but again, it's fun. It's something that challenges and changes your mind. You know what neuroplasticity is. It's getting the mind to change, and it's actually quite effective when you know how, and then you get to go into the tribe and share your experiences, because you know, or maybe you don't, if you work in a group and commit and have accountability, your chance of succeeding goes up by a whopping 80%. When you commit to a group you're going to do something, your chance of doing it goes up by a staggering amount, and that's why the tribe help to keep you accountable. You share experiences, it makes it even better. And every week you get a hypnotic session of rewiring audio to listen to in those 5 areas, and it truly is groundbreaking. And who will write to me and said, my kid passed all their exams because I bought your audio on how to take in information and study. So if just having the audio can change you, and you've never met me, imagine what 35 days of having me in your living room talking to you about some really powerful stuff that you didn't know. Even doctors say, wow, we didn't know this stuff, because they're taught differently. I learned everything from my clients. I witnessed profound changes and took them to other clients and witnessed it again. And now I teach other people to do what I do. So you're going to learn powerful techniques that wire in change over 35 days. And every lesson segues into the next lesson, and they all kind of layer upon themselves, so you can change in every area. And the best thing of all is you keep that change, not for a little while, but forever. The program deals with the 4 issues that people present over and over again. I can't find and keep love, I have wealth blocks that hold me back and I can't have the success I want, my health suffers, or I know it's about mindset, but I don't know how to get it. And so this is 4 problems that almost everyone has, and they come up with these blocks over and over again. I've worked with people with physical ailments. I worked with someone with a hearing problem. I worked with a man who stopped wearing reading glasses in 20 minutes. I worked with people with multiple allergies who give them up. Because often when we have these symptoms, they have what I call a role and a function and a purpose. The mind thinks they're useful. When you go back and understand that role and get rid of it, change can happen like that, and it is indeed very powerful. And people do find it really hard to believe because it's almost too good to be true, but it is good, and it's certainly true. I worked with a girl who had this very rare genetic disorder in front of 7 doctors who couldn't quite believe how easily she changed, and now I taught her my method, and now she treats veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder and is getting phenomenal results because she couldn't believe it. Even her doctor couldn't believe it. In fact, I trained a doctor in Edinburgh who's given up her practice entirely as a doctor and is now only an RTT hypnotherapy. She said, even as a doctor, I never got these results because I was never looking for the cause. I was just treating symptoms. I had an amazing policewoman who trained with me and said, you know, I wanted to help people, but I ended up locking up drunks, and now I work doing what you do, and it's amazing. So it isn't just that I can do it, it's the technique. Rapid transformational hypnotherapy is not treating symptoms, it's treating the cause of a symptom, it's uncovering the roots of a symptom and removing those roots, and I promise you those issues do not come back. It's a very common belief, but they don't come back. I can't wait to help you be the person you've always wanted to be. I can't wait to see you in that program and show you how to change your life forever. See you there. Hi, I'm Marissa Peer, and welcome to this super exciting quest. And I really want to congratulate you for doing something that I know is going to change your life. And I know it because I'm an internationally renowned
therapist. I've been voted best therapist in the UK. So I kind of know what I'm doing. I love what I do. I've been a therapist for 30 years, and what I'm known for is being able to read people really fast and then very quickly change their issues, not for a little while, but permanently. And in fact, my method's so effective, I created my very own brand of therapy. It's called RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. It has already transformed thousands and thousands of lives because it's designed to get results. And this quest is designed to get results. I've been a therapist for such a long time, so I can say, hand on my heart, I know what's wrong with people, I know what they need, but best of all, I know how to give them what they need really fast, really effectively, fairly easily, with a method that pretty much guarantees results. And that's why I've made this quest to give you what you want, to give you what you need with a technique that never wears off. And it's kind of fun. I know that people don't want stuff that's boring and work. Nobody wants to write out hours of goals and have to read lots of stuff and do tons of writing. You want little fun things that have phenomenal, profound results. And that's why I've made this quest for you. So huge welcome to you. So who is this program for? Well, this program is for you if you really want to change but just don't know how to, and that's certainly not unusual. Or if you've tried many other methods and said, well, nothing really worked, or it did work, but it just wore off. Or if you have these fixed beliefs that hold you back, like change is too difficult, no one can have it all. I've done some stuff and it's all hard work, and the results I got didn't really match up to the effort I put in. This is the exact opposite of that. The results you get are phenomenal and out of proportion to the small effort you're going to put in. This program is for you if you have a love-hate relationship with your body and you think you should punish it into submission, because that doesn't work. It's for you if you'd love to be wealthy and successful, but again, don't know how to do it. It's for you if you feel that you can't connect with people, you'd love to have a beautiful relationship, you keep going online dating and that just is a massive disappointment. It's for you if you know that the thing that's holding you back is up here, because it always is. It's always our mindset that gets in the way. And that shouldn't be the case, because our mindset is very easy to change and very fast to change if you know how. But not enough people teach you how to change your mindset. Everything is about mindset. So if you would love to change your mindset fast, effectively, powerfully, profoundly, and to really think, wow, that's just turned me around and it's amazing, then this program is for you. In fact, it's for everyone of any age, any gender, any background. There is no one that I can't help. I work with people from the age of 4 to the age of 84, from all over the world, from villages in Africa to penthouses in New York, and all of my clients say, gosh, you changed my life. The day I met you is a game changer. And I love doing that. So it's for everyone. There's only one person it might not be for. Someone who says, I don't have the time, it's all too difficult. You need 30 minutes a day. And you have 30 minutes a day, don't you? I know you can find 30 minutes a day. If you can find 30 minutes to listen to my teaching, play the recording, do a little bit of written work, then this is for you. And it might just be the best thing you've ever done. So I'm really excited you're here. So after going through this Quest program, there are so many things that will be available to you. You'll be able to have a really beautiful, loving relationship that lasts, that goes the distance. And you can have a loving relationship with yourself, and that's actually super important. You'll be able to treat your body with respect and have it be the way you want it to be. You'll be able to finally unroot, uncover, and get rid of all the money blocks that hold you back from the success that you want. If you feel that success, wealth, health, relationships, and even having the right mindset have eluded you for years, that's why RTT works, because RTT does not treat symptoms. It treats the core. People have what I call the presenting problem. Here's my problem, please fix it. But very often it's not the problem at all. The problem is what I call what lies beneath. And in this quest, it's like peeling away the layers of an onion. Oh, I thought that was the issue. Actually, it's that. And now I found this issue. And then you get to the core of your issues, the root of why you're failing to have a thriving relationship, a thriving business, why you're failing to have the health and fitness and lifestyle you want. And when we uncover the core and treat that, that is your game changer. You'll have so many aha moments, so many illuminating moments, so many light bulb moments, and you go, oh, now I understand why I held myself back. And in that understanding, well, I'm over that now. It's all behind me. Finding out why you do what you do and changing that is amazing. I never treat issues. I always treat the core, the root. And in this quest, you're going to be uncovering roots, pulling them up by the root, and being free to have the life you want. It's really exciting. It's all about giving you profound, powerful results in the key areas of your life that really matter. So what are those 4 areas? Well, the first one and the most important one is your mindset. So many people I work with have no idea that they are subconsciously sabotaging themselves by procrastinating, by not believing in themselves. And it all stems from being emotionally blocked, having limiting beliefs. And what we do on this quest is get rid of those beliefs, remove them, and steer your mind to new, empowering behaviors that give you a life that's fulfilling and happy and joyful. And I know it sounds a bit Pollyanna, but you really can have it all if and when you change your mindset. And mindset's not hard to change. You just have to know how. And that's why we do this one first. The second part is your body, your relationship with yourself, your health. And again, that should be so easy. So many of us also sabotage our ability to have the body we want, the health we want, and to enjoy a fit, happy, long life. And in this quest, you'll understand why, but even more importantly, you'll know how to finally change that once and for all, and to have abundant health, have a really healthy life. And then we come on to wealth. So many people want wealth, but are hugely blocked because they think it's wrong, it's bad, it's not spiritual. That isn't true. You can have it all, and you can have it all at the same time when you know how. So we help you become healthy, wealthy, wise, abundant, and finally relationships. In this quest, you'll be able to understand why you may have unconsciously stopped yourself having an ideal relationship, why you're going for the wrong type over and over again. And we get rid of all of that so you can have the icing on the cake, a beautiful, loving relationship, a fantastically successful career, a healthy body, and a powerful mindset that makes you a winner in every area. You can have it all, and we're going to start that. I want you to have everything and all at the same time too, and that's absolutely possible. I know that because I work with so many clients who have it all. And I've worked with so many clients who don't know how to have it all until I showed them and steered them in that direction. And I now consider you one of my clients. I'm going to give you what I give them, which is freedom and empowerment to have the life you've always wanted. Welcome on board. Hi, welcome back. Let me tell you all about the structure of this exciting quest. It has 5 important chapters, and you get 1 chapter per week. And each transformational video is actually less than 20 minutes long, so it's not going to take much of your time at all. And we start with the fundamentals. That's so important. And show you what abundance would look like, what it would feel like. How would it be if your life was abundant? We make that real for you. And then we go through the 4 key areas. Mindset first, because it's super important to get that part right. And then your health. And then your wealth. And then your relationships. And what I'm doing at each stage constantly is identifying, uncovering, getting rid of blocks, freeing you of all those blocks so you can have the life you've always wanted. So this quest is all about reprogramming and rewiring you at a deep subconscious level. And that's why for 5 days you get some extraordinary video content to watch, to take in, but then you get exercises to do, because it's not enough to just watch something. I really want you to change at a deep, powerful level. And so you have some written exercise to do, but they're not hard, they're actually fun. And then every week you get a powerful audio that is absolutely designed to rewire your mind. And don't find that frightening. The mind likes to change, but it needs to know how. And it's all about getting rid of old limiting beliefs, replacing negative thought patterns with positive new ones, and wiring in the change, because the mind likes to learn by repetition. And this audio will be a game changer for you. So I've designed this program in a particular way that every day builds on the previous day, and every day is building up to the next day, and that's why it's so result orientated. And then you get something which is amazing, which is a tribe to join, to share your experiences, to connect with other people, to learn from them, and to allow them to learn from you. And that's really exciting. So I love the concept of a tribe, and I've used it in other programs, and what people love is having someone else to connect to, and they feel like they're going through it together. You know, when you commit to a group, your chance of success goes up by an amazing 80%. Having someone to account and go, I did that happened, this happened, really powerfully boosts your success, and you'll love the tribe. It's your tribe. You can share anything. And they're there all the time, and all over the world you'll find you can connect to people, talk to people, hear from them, hear about their experience, share yours, and that will massively intensify your success and your commitment too. So when the quest is over, you will have 5 powerful audios, and I'd like you to extend your listening to them, because I like to give people 21 days per subject to really fully rewire themselves. When the quest is over, you can go back and play those audios more, add in the missing days. The audios are not long. They're maybe 15 minutes, and you can play them as you drift off to sleep. You can play them last thing at night. I don't want you to have to find more time. You can do it when you're doing other things. I don't even like the word homework, because it's not work, but I'm going to tell you honestly that you're going to need about 30 minutes a day to watch the exciting video, to do the exciting exercises, and to spend some time in the tribe. And you have 30 minutes a day, I know you do. It's very important that you set aside that time, that you make the time for those things. Set aside a time where you won't be disturbed, and really commit to this, really give it your all. And finally, go ahead and join the tribe. Hi, welcome back. I'm going to tell you about change. I'm in the business of changing people, and I know some stuff about change that you're going to find There are 4 ways that you will change. Some people change instantly. They go, oh, that just changed my life. That insight has made me a different person. We all want instant change. And you may be working with a buddy or someone in the tribe who's telling you how they've changed like that. And you think, well, I haven't changed like that. What's wrong with me? Nothing at all. Because the second way we change is called cumulative change. And what that means is bit by bit, little by little, changes are going on and they start to build up. And then there is a third way we change, which I call retroactive change, and that means that you don't even know you've changed. So you look back and think, oh wow, I don't have headaches anymore. I wake up in the morning full of energy. I've stopped getting anxious. So there's instant change, cumulative change that's building up, retroactive change, and finally the lag time. You're taking in some powerful, cutting edge, really transformational RTT techniques, and be aware that a lot of these changes are going on inside, especially where your health and your ability to know how lovable you are is occurring. And there is often a lag time between what you're seeing on screen, writing in your book, sharing with the tribe, and then suddenly showing up in your life. And it's very important to understand those 4 things. So when your friend says, oh yes, it's just amazing and I'm so different, you think, oh, that's okay because I'm doing the cumulative or I'm doing the retroactive. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get up a mountain. When you get to the top, everyone's got the same view. The view is the same for everyone, no matter how you get there. And it's exactly the same with this course. You will get results. Don't compare them to other people because you are unique and you'll change in a unique way. The only thing that matters is that you'll change. Now, some of us have a little bit of resistance to change. Here are the 4 resistance. People say, I can't find the time. I go, well, where are you looking for it? Under your covers? You don't find the time. When something's important, you make the time, you take the time, you put that time aside. Or people say, well, I've lost motivation. You don't lose motivation. Motivation becomes diminished when you don't do it properly, when you skip bits. I'll just flick through this while I'm watching television, or I'll have it on the screen while I'm doing something else. So motivation is not going to turn up and go, hey, here I am, motivator. You don't find motivation. Motivation begins when you take action. It's rather like going to the gym. You don't get motivated till you show up and begin. And when you apply this program, you will become super motivated. But get it the right way around. Don't say, I can't find the motivation to do the program. Do the program, and the motivation will find you. And here's another resistance to change, which is, I feel so guilty. I'm taking time away from my children. I should be visiting my mom or seeing my friends. You are investing in yourself. This will make you a better parent, a better partner, a better employee, a better everything. Invest in yourself because you are absolutely worth it. And the 4th resistance to change is the fact that our mind likes what's familiar. It's a bit apprehensive about unfamiliar and would love to keep going back to what's familiar. But if you'd never been a runner and you started to run, you would hate it, and eventually you would love it because you can make anything that is unfamiliar, applying yourself, believing in yourself, getting motivated. You can make that familiar. So the 4 ways we change and the 4 resistance to change are very normal and very easily overcome. So please don't worry. Throughout this quest, I'll be helping you shatter resistance and change in a wonderful way, and I know you'll love it. I want you to really do this program beginning to end. And it's very important that you focus on your outcome. Why have you invested in this program? What do you want to get from this program? Why are you here? It's easy, sadly, to think, oh, I'll just skip a day. I'm too busy. My favorite show is on. I need sleep. I'm just not in the mood. And most of you will have those moments, and I want you to always think about the outcome. What do I want from this program? Why am I here? It's a bit like saying, I don't really want to go to the gym, but I want a six-pack. I'm going even though I don't want to go. And this program is no different. As long as you remember your outcome, why you're here, why you've invested, what are the results you want, what do you want to leave this program with. Make a note of that, remind yourself of that, and let yourself stick to this program. So I know you all love that expression, I'll believe it when I see it. So let's see it just for a minute. Close your eyes and just imagine that a few weeks have passed and you're already getting that outcome. You're already working with a totally different mindset where you know that you deserve everything. You have that great belief, I'm worth it, which is not arrogance. It's more an awareness that you're gifted, talented, lovable, and that your mind's job is to work for you. You certainly shouldn't be working for it. And your mind has now become your best friend, your ally, your cheerleader. Instead of criticizing you, it fires you up with motivation and extraordinary self-belief, and that seeps into every area of your life. Suddenly, you have the motivation, the desire, the belief that gets you to treat your body with respect, to eat right, to exercise, to get the right rest, to really believe in yourself. And that in turn seeps into other layers of your life. It seeps into your ability to believe in your success, to get a promotion, to get a pay rise, to follow your dreams, to find your purpose, to have a career that thrills you and also gives you the income, the wealth, the abundance that you've always wanted. So suddenly you're able to have the financial rewards that you want. You have financial abundance, you have wealth, you have success, but you also can have a beautiful relationship because you know you're lovable. You can attract love, you can maintain love, you can be with the right person, having the right relationship, but also you can have great relationships with your friends, with your colleagues, and with yourself. It's really important to know that. So I want you to just take a minute and see it. What would your life look like, feel like, be like if you had extraordinary, unshakable self-belief? If your mind worked for you, not against you, praised you, didn't criticize you, built you up rather than diminished you to such an extent that you ran a business with unshakable self-belief. You took responsibility for your health and your body and your life with dedication and commitment and enjoyed it. And the icing on the cake, you wake up every morning and go to bed every night with someone that loves you and believes in you, and you love and believe in them, and you can say, I have it all because I'm worth it, but I also share that. So to make this even easier, think of all the people who will benefit from you being this well-rounded, adjusted person who's fulfilled, happy, and has really high self-esteem. Your children, the children you're yet to have, your family members, your friends, your colleagues, everybody will benefit when you become a walking, talking, living example of the way to have it all. So I want you to really see that. What does it sound like? What are the things you hear? People say, wow, what is it that you do? I want what you've got. When you hear people saying you're so confident, you carry yourself so well, what you have to say always makes so much sense. I love talking to you. And when you hear your boss saying you are indispensable to this company, we're going to promote you, give you a pay rise, or someone says, I want to invest in your business, or I love working with you, you make it so easy. And finally, those words when someone says, I love you, I couldn't imagine my life without you, how lucky I am that I got to find you. So hear it, but also feel it. Feel someone's arms around you. Feel people patting you on the back going, well done, you did a great job. Feel your mind cheering you on. So hear it, feel it, see yourself having the life you've always wanted. Use all of your senses. And anytime you think, oh, I can't be bothered, I want to run back to the familiar lying on the couch, eating potato chips and surfing Netflix, stop and remember, you promised yourself this outcome. You allowed yourself to see this outcome. You can never see something without having the ability to make it happen, and you can make it happen by applying yourself to this quest, and it really requires 30 minutes a day, and I know you have that. So I'm really excited to begin this powerful journey with you, and I'm going to see you on the quest, and we both can hardly wait to get started.